YouTube, what's happening? We back again with another installment of the Full Strength. Been gone for a minute because we've been catching L's. Real quickly, if you're new to the Full Strength, we discuss sneakers, mainly Jordans. We discuss designer from time to time. We discuss jerseys. We may dabble into some other categories, but for right now, that's what we've been sticking with. And we asked the $1 million question: is it worth the full strength? Full strength being the retail price. Now, we're going to say that for certain items, anything over a certain amount is the full strength. Take a pair of Jordans, for instance. Military 4s are coming out. I believe they're hitting you for $215. That's the full strength. Them shoes really should probably only be about $150, $160, but with inflation, whatever you want to call it, they $215. That's the full strength. You tap resale on top of it. I seen somebody trying to resell them today for $325. The super full strength. We don't advocate for that on this particular channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Ray Allen throwback. This is a 96-97 play edition, if you will, Mitchell and Ness. And we're going to compare it to a Nike Swingman of the early 2000s. Ray Allen and them probably would have wore this other Nike Swingman in that 96, 97, 98 era. But I know for a fact I had this jersey in the early 2000s, something like that. But we're going to take a look. Now, this isn't a shit on Mitchell and Ness video. I'm not trying to do that. We're really only trying to take a look at construction. We're trying to look at quality. We're trying to look at stitching. And we're trying to look at detail. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the buck here is screen printed on, or it's not screen printed, I'm sorry, it's in the fabric. That's a problem for me. I would have liked to have seen this and the bucks. I would have liked to have seen all of that stitched on. Now, if we take a look at the numbers here, this appears to be the tackle twill number. It appears to be stitched on. Let's look at it inside out. Let's take a look here. It does not look like it is stitched on. Now, this may have been applied with heat. So the heat applique tackle twill. We're going to see, in my opinion. See if we can get another jersey to show. This is inferior to something that is actually stitched on. Right? We'll take a look at that in a second. You got the NBA logo. The gold NBA logo here. Also does not appear to be stitched on. That appears to be applied with heat. Not gonna lie. That's a letdown there. Let's take a look at the tag. Mitchell and Ness Swingman Collection, made in China, Philadelphia, PA. Shout out to Philly. All right. Let's take a look. $135 MSRP. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say at $135, it's not a bad price. It's not a bad price. I would like to see a jersey like this, maybe around the $100 range. 85 would probably be the sweet spot, but let's be honest. Everything is high now, so you're not really gonna find that unless you can catch it on sale. Let's take a look at the back numbers. Again, the numbers are physical, and it gives the appearance. So I don't know if you can see that. It gives the appearance that it's stitched on. Can you see the lines? So it gives the appearance that it's stitched. But when you flip it over, I don't know if that's picking it up, but you may be able to see the lines there. It gives the appearance that it's stitched on. But if we flip it over, doesn't appear to be stitched on. Same thing with the letters. Yeah, you see the stitching. It has the design on it. And see if I run my nail across that, it don't even get caught into the stitching. Not gonna lie to you, that's a problem. That is a problem, right? Don't put the appearance of stitching. Just stitch it on there, right? Now, if you stitched it on there, if all the stuff was stitched, it may be 135. You know what? Solid value there. That's a problem. Let's see if we can find one real quick with the numbers stitched, and then we'll take a look at the other jersey. Let's see. All right, this is a Jeremy Shockey Saints. Take a look at the numbers there. You see that? You can see that. See your stitching. See your big numbers. You can feel that. Let's flip it over. See, that's quality stitching there. Look at that. Let's flip this inside out. See, this is what I'm talking about, where they're trying to hit us with how the golden days was. Y'all know, if y'all came up like me, y'all remember the starter jackets. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember the jerseys. You know, you might have had the Dan Marino, right? The Jerry Rice. I had all them, right? The Deion Sanders. You had all that. They was hitting us with the stitching. Look at that. You can see how they actually physically. Now, I doubt it was hand done, but look at that. That's actually stitched into the shirt. Where was this made? This was made in, let's say, Vietnam. Shout out to Vietnam. Right? You got your NFL equipment logo here. It's stitched underneath here. So this is what we talk about when we're talking about detailing. Let's throw that to the side. Not the appearance of stitching. How these lines are right here on the purple. Right? You run your nail through that, it's not getting caught on a stitch. That's piss poor. Now, I do like the detailing with a little bit of the razzle dazzle here on the outline of the letters. That's good. That's nice. But if we ranking it detailing on a scale of 1 to 5, we're going to get this one a 2 on these numbers here. Now, I believe that the Mitchell and Ness jerseys are tiered a little bit. This may not be what they would say is a 100% pro cut authentic, right? So let's keep that in mind. Now, let's take it to who I feel like when they were making these was the king of the hill, top dog of the food chain, the Nike Swingman. Right? Let's move the Jeremy Shockey out the way. All right. Size XL. I believe this that Mitchell and Ness was a XL. It was either XL or a large. So should be fairly close in size. Now, let's you see you got a little razzle dazzle there on the numbers and on the bucks. So it appears on the outside that all of this is stitched on. Now, do you hear that? That's the nail getting caught on the actual physical stitch. Now, I got this off of eBay. This isn't one I had in the closet for a while. I ended up having to pull the trigger and buy this one. It still had the tags on it. American Express, all that NBA. This was made in Honduras. Shout out to Honduras. So yeah, this is authentic, 100%. So we don't got to worry about that. I had a bunch of these jerseys, so I can pretty much eye them to know if they're real or not. Let's flip this one inside out. Let's take a look real quick. Now, bam. Do you see that? That's stitching. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about detail. And I did a review on a Penny Hardaway Memphis jersey, college, and it was screen print all throughout. But it was only an $85 jersey, I think, or $90, so I could give Nike a pass on that. Right? Let's flip this one inside out. Can you see the difference in what I'm talking about? Night and day. Night and day. So if you're looking at getting your jersey game up for the summer, I'm not saying to avoid Mitchell and Ness. I'm not saying that. I think they make good stuff from time to time. I don't like how they tax and bust heads full strength for the Jordan jerseys, but, it is what it is. But for me, if I'm in the store, this is the type of stuff I'm looking at. I'm flipping the jersey inside out. I'm trying to see what the stitching is talking about. Because if I can't see the outline of the numbers, if I can't see the outline of the name on the underside of the jersey, that is not synonymous with quality to me, right? We know for a fact, to make this jersey, it's cheaper. We know that for a fact. To make this with it in the fabric, it's cheaper because you can just print that. You can heat apply the stuff. That's cheaper than actually having to physically get it sewn. Now, we understand this jersey was made 20-something years ago. This one was probably made in the last couple of years, so maybe cost and all that. We understand that. But again, why put out, if you're going to do it big. Don't do it halfway. Now, part of it, we got to blame the consumers. Listen, if you're shopping for whips and you got 70 bands to spend, why would you ever buy something with a 4-cylinder in it? I'm just asking you that question. 70,000, 4-cylinder. Man, look, if we homies and you pulled up on me with that, I would tell you to go ahead and take that back because you got played. And then if we start looking at the whip, piecing it, looking at it, oh, that's not even real leather. Oh, well, come on. Take that back because they got you. That's what they doing, because the consumer isn't looking at things from a production standpoint, from a quality standpoint. They're only looking at it for what it is, not how it's made. And that's the problem that I have, even with Nike. Nike kind of half-asses some things sometimes. You feel me? And if people, that's one of the benefits of YouTube and, people that, the people that break the phones down and, when they were saying Apple was using Sapphire and, the people was destroying the phones. No, they really wasn't using Sapphire. So it's like you need that to help to hold these companies accountable so that they don't try to pull the rug out from under you, or pull the wool over your eyes like, oh, yeah, we hitting you with that fire. And it's like, no. If you went in and bought a gold chain just to only find out it's gold plated or it was PVD or whatever, like, no, you wanted the real gold. So it's the same thing with shirts, it's the same thing with jeans, the same thing with jerseys, the same thing with shoes, all that. You feel me? Let's wrap this up. You got the stitching on the NBA, man. Is that stitched on? It looks like it is. 100%. Look at that. You can see it, but it's not stitched. It's heat applied. Right? To the side there. Let's take a look at the Ray Allens. Again, we've already seen that it's stitched on, so nothing to see there. Now let's compare the numbers real quick. I will say that the Mitchell and Ness jersey is heavier in weight. This one feels heavier. This one feels a little lighter. Now, to me, the heavier weight does give it a solid feel. And that would be pick your poison. Do you want to feel the weight of the fabric, especially if it's hot outside and then you start to sweating? Or would you prefer something just a touch lighter, maybe 20 grams or so lighter, if that, where, as you sweat, it's not going to be as heavy. So it just depends. The weight kind of feels more quality, but, we looked at the stitching, we looked at the detail. Even though this is lighter, this is the better made jersey. No question about it. So let's take a look at the numbers here. Now, again, one is heat applied, one is stitched on. They kind of feel the same on top. Obviously, they kind of sound the same on top. Again, maybe this is just different technology. I don't really know. And we know that the numbers are a touch different because of the sparkle on here. But if I'm gonna give a nod to something, I'm giving it to the one on the left. Again, it's just they feel the same, like weight wise, the numbers kind of feel the same. To the finger, they kind of feel the same, but I know one. I know the difference between one because we've already looked at it. So let's take our verdict. Let's do our verdict, and let's ask the $1 million question. And we may do a few more jerseys here as it gets closer to the warmer months. If you're looking at a Mitchell & Ness for the summer, and you're looking at maybe the 150, 135, range of the jerseys, is it worth the full strength? I'm going to say, no, it's not. Maybe try to catch you something like this on sale. If you can get this closer to $99, yeah, it's probably more of a solid purchase. You can go on eBay right now and find you some of the old school, early 2000s Nike Swingmans in, varying conditions, but, some of them are new, some of them are in excellent, but you're going to be right around that 135 that the Mitchell & Ness is. So, you're getting, to me, even though you're getting an older shirt or older jersey, you're getting one that's better made, better constructed. So if we're talking about detail, 1 out of 5, we're gonna go ahead and get this one a 5. We already talked. You can see it. Flip them inside out, you can see it. So detail, 5. Even though this one looks great. Look, man, I have nothing to say negative about how it looks. So if we're talking about detail, got a 5 here. We're gonna give this one a 2. If we're talking about quality here, we're gonna give this one a 5 just because of how old it is. I mean, look how good it still looks. And if we talk about quality, again, the fabric feels good on this, and where the things are applied, they don't necessarily feel cheap. Now, I'm not a big fan of the patches at the bottom, but if we're talking about quality of the jersey, we'll give the quality a 4. We'll say the quality is a 4, right? So nothing to knock it there. And is it worth the full strength? No, it's not worth the 135 plus tax. It's not worth that. All right. So we've been catching L's. Caught an L on the Italian camos. Caught an L on some other Jordans that came out. We're gonna see if we can get our hands on the military force. But yeah, it's been a year full of L's. Hopefully your year has been a little bit more successful. So that'll do it for this episode of The Full Strength. Again, if you're looking for jerseys for the summer, take a look at eBay, see if you can find you the same old school Swingman, because they likely have it. If you need to go the Mitchell & Ness route, pay attention to the stitching, pay attention to the detailing. Now, if that's not important to you, then pull the trigger. You can get your fresh Mitchell & Ness, bam, you're doing your thing. Me personally, I like the stitching. I like the detail. I like to be able to, I like to see the construction of the jersey and see how it was made, and because that's how they was doing it back then. So that's why it's in my brain. I know nowadays, even what they wearing in the NBA, they're not really wearing like this no more. A lot of the stuff they wearing is like this. It's in the jersey. It's screen printed in the jersey, or it's heat pressed on. So that'll do it for this episode. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Appreciate everybody commenting, liking, subscribing. And yeah, that'll do it. Peace to y'all.